Just simply Dorales. We are back. We are back. Okay. So before we left, this gonna be a 3-part podcast. And before we left, we were asking a question. So question 1, the answer that I came up with is that it can why is sex a needed convo to have in a relationship? Why is it important? I feel like it can offer increased emotional intimacy. It can also offer a stronger self-image for each partner and stress relief. It can bring you and your partner closer. Benefits can also include a stronger self-image, sexual activity, and a physical act that it releases endorphins that make you happy. The pleasure your body can give and receive can increase self-confidence, self-esteem, and body positivity that can allow you to carry these feelings into other areas of your life. It can release the hormone, I don't know how to spell it, so I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm going to spell it, oxytocin, which produces feelings of emotional connection and intimacy. It can deepen the bonds between partners and foster feelings of closeness, emotional well-being, and relationship self-esteem. It's a stress relief. Good sex, I repeat, good sex is a stress relieving activity that releases endorphins, producing feelings of relaxation and satisfaction, and it can help melt away the stress of a difficult day. It can also help you sleep better. Anyone else got something to say on that first question?
Also, it can let you know something about your spouse that you don't know. Like, for instance, if they into some stuff that you might not want to be into.
Oh, hell yeah.
That stuff up front. That way you ain't got to have no surprises. Because there's some nasty stuff out here that I done heard about. And I'm like, hell no, I'm not doing that. I know somebody know what I'm talking about.
Do anyone up here have any? Okay, do anyone up here have anything to say? Anyone on here? I don't think anyone's on mine because I started pretty late. Let's move on to the second question. Why is parenting an important conversation to have in a relationship? My answer was parenting styles show how to discipline. You have the authoritative parenting, which they push for dominance and punishment instead of discipline and natural consequences. You have the authoritative parenting style, which create rules and healthy boundaries while enforcing a positive relationship. You have the permissive parenting, which is poor enforcement of rules and boundaries. And you have the uninvolved parenting. That's just self-explanatory. Sometimes you have two different parenting styles, but you can come together and compromise and reach a common ground and how it can work for you guys and the kids to their benefits. But this is an important conversation to have, because how the fuck am I going to have kids with you, even if they're my stepkids, and we don't agree on parenting? So we arguing and contradicting each other in front of the kids, which means the kids know that they can run all over us and play us against each other. Anybody else anything to say about that one?
When it's all said and done, you got certain people out there that'll be like, "Oh, I'm not gonna ever hit my kids. I'm gonna be my kid's friend." The parent that just wants to be the cool one. If you're a parent, you're supposed to be a parent, not necessarily your child's friend. But if you get with somebody that wants to be, their child's friend, then y'all might bump heads. Because you have some people that are just going to be like, oh, well, I'm just going to talk to them. And then you got some parents that's a disciplinarian that say, we're going to make sure you get this right. I'm not saying that disciplining your kids and everything like that is always the answer, because it also depends on the child. But at the same time, there needs to be an agreement between the two guardians, so that way your child is not given that opportunity to play against each other. Because a child sometimes knows who to ask. When you little and you want to go spend the night at your friend's house, don't ask mama, she gonna say no, ask daddy, or vice versa. So y'all have to make sure that between everybody on here, significant others, cover your bases, be on one accord with each other, so that way you don't have that problem.
These conversations need to be had, even though they hard. just for the sake of knowing if you want to build with that person. It's how you don't waste time. Okay? And hey, Brandon, I see you. I know it's about time we got up here. We love you too. Welcome. He said, what's up, Preach?
What's good?
He said, what's up, CJ?
What's up?
And nice to hear a new voice. Hi, Kay. Okay. Let's move to question 3. Why is discussing your in-laws important in a relationship?
Nigga.
Man, you got to set healthy boundaries. You have to receiving unsolicited advice, being criticized, hearing complaints, knowing what you're getting into, clarity on how to deal with them. Because there's some monster in-laws out there. Damn it. Man, there's some mothers who's treating their sons like their husbands. That ain't your husband. Go get you a rose and name it Frank or something. I don't give a fuck. Your child is not your husband. Let go. Yeah, because Frank be having seizures.
Oh, damn, dog.
Do y'all think it's important to discuss in-laws?
Most definitely.
Very much so.
Because sometimes your in-laws can really mess up your relationship because of their opinions, giving it to their child, and they're bringing that into the relationship. And when you don't have a mind of your own to think for yourself and do what makes you happy, that messes up the relationship. So yes, that is very, 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 very important.
In-laws, mind your damn business.
Yeah.
Ain't got shit to do with you. You ain't fucking her or him.
My thing is to in-laws, y'all had y'all time to have y'all relationship. So when it comes to your kids and everything like that, yes, don't get me wrong.
You can give advice.
That's healthy advice, but don't try to give advice about something that you can't do or that you're not doing. Because the first point of trying to teach somebody is being a role model.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So practice what you preach and show through your actions.
That part. And stop saying you giving advice when you really making a command. Bitch, you can't command me. I'm grown.
Right.
Now, yeah, there's a respect because you my parent. And I'm going to take it into consideration. But you cannot command me. I'm the fuck grown. Parents, y'all need to learn to meet your kids where they at. And treat them with respect for the women or the men that they are. Not who they used to be. And the person that you are becoming.
A 30-year-old, a 25-year-old, actually it starts at 21. That is not a little child anymore. That is not a little child no more. Don't get me wrong. I know parents, you be like, oh, my baby, my baby, my baby. But look, there's a point in time when your baby going to become grown. And the whole point is to train them up when they're younger and they won't depart from it. That's what the Bible says.
Yeah, give them the tools that they need to be able to make them decisions by you. You can't hold your child's hand all throughout life because I done seen some cases where the parent has held the child's hand their whole life, and when they gone, the child is lost. They don't know what the fuck to do.
I dealt with in my
baby.
marriage, like I dealt with the mother-in-law not accepting my children. Like she would express herself saying that my children weren't her grandkids, and I never asked them to be. Like that was just very rude to me, very monsterish. Like I don't think you should treat people like that. And if you feel like that on the inside, keep that shit on the inside. Like a lot of things don't need to be said. A lot of things don't have to be said. Like especially something so personal, opinionated, something like that. Like that's not okay. That's not okay. If you feel that way about your child's wife or her children.
Switch the mic off. Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties. But she was saying if you have an opinion about your significant other's child, keep it to yourself. Because at the end of the day, the kids is the one that suffer. At the end of the day, they really are. Question number 4 is, why is it important to discuss finance and relationship? It helps you learn from each other. It can lead to clarity, trust, and a healthier relationship. Sharing discussions about spending and saving and discussing money openly will help avoid arguments and tensions in a relationship. It definitely will. And it's not always easy to discuss it, but there's a way that you can get it done. Anybody else?
Long story short, I didn't do the research myself, but there was some research done that said financial situations are the leading cause of divorce. You guys need to examine each other's spending habits, examine each other's lifestyle. You have one spouse that might have one way of living, might have even been trained, and you have another one that might have done it all on their own. And there's some things that one might be able to teach another, and then sometimes it's vice versa. So when it comes to money, y'all need to make sure that y'all are on the same page. To be honest with you, once you get into a serious relationship and you are at that point to where you're building together, the best way to do is really to do it together. Because if you still have this thing, what's mine is mine, and the other person's mine is mine,
You don't belong in a relationship.
y'all could very well be in a relationship working against each other financially when you really don't have to. When you are in a situation and you put two people together, they can be very, very strong. Hell, if you take two people, add another person, and y'all all working together, maybe in a business partner situation, y'all gonna be strong. You're always stronger in numbers.
Especially, but that's true. But the numbers, y'all have to be on the same page at
Absolutely.
all times. It can't be no underhandness. It can't be none of that at all. Honesty, again, that goes right back to honesty. It goes back to honesty. It really, really does. We have 2 minutes left on this, and then we're going to pause and get back on so I can start the third one, and that'll be the last little 15 minutes.
When y'all think about dealing with money, I'm going to use an analogy because I'm a mechanic. Think about pushing a car. You have one person pushing the car, they're going to struggle to do it. You start adding extra people, next thing you know, that car going to start moving, and it's going to be a whole lot easier to do it rather than one person. Money is going to be the same situation. When you work together, you will accomplish more.
Yes, you will. In all honesty, it takes a village to do a lot of things in life. We were not put on this earth to be by ourselves. Because if we were, it'd have been Adam. It'd have just been Adam. It would be no Eve, no Evettes, no Avanettes, none of that. We are not meant to be creatures by ourselves. We don't do well by ourselves, and that's proven in the Bible.
And borrowing and trading wouldn't work without another person. For those of you that say that I could do everything by myself, if you are doing any type of job, then most likely that job that you're doing is going to either benefit you, or it's going to benefit somebody else, or it's going to benefit something that's going to have an impact on somebody else.
Sure will. So this has been Simply Dorales. We are about to go on our last little 15 minutes, y'all. Give me a minute to set up. I'll be right back.